Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection video for you. Depending on when you're watching this, I had picked up a New York Craft Beer Alliance. I don't know if that's their official name, but the New York State Craft Beer Association. They put together 24 beers for cheers, for holiday cheer. They gave us, a nice big box came with it. This flyer with all the participating New York craft breweries, little bios on each of the beers. I'll put it a little closer. I'm sure I'll have it pop on the screen when I edit this, as well as all the their emblems and their trademarks, signs for the beer. So I've been putting them all together. I'm probably not going to be doing all the beers as far as the video is concerned, but for the most part, everything's been really good so far. What I have today is probably something that's not unfamiliar. The brewery's not unfamiliar to you. I've never had this particular beer, but it's from Other Half Brewing Company. I believe they're in Brooklyn. I want to say they're in Brooklyn. It's called Ideal Wave, their IPA. Trying to see where it's coming out. I actually have it written down here. 6.5. They say they're using Citra, Mosaic, some Pacific Northwest, Nelson Sauvin, and I think Matuka. Yeah, Matuka. Matuka gives me that lime character. A lot of times it's a very popular hop from New Zealand that many of the breweries are using these days. So, Other Half, Ideal Wave. Again, all these cans, of course, have the typical artwork that many of these craft breweries have been using. So, anyway, let's take a look at this one, and that's it. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just using a regular tulip glass. Okay. So we're expecting. It doesn't say New England IPA, but it's probably, very similar. As I'm pouring it out, I'm taking a look at it. You get about 1.5 inches of pretty white, dense, tight bubbles. Looks like the head is going to sustain itself pretty well. You got that classic, medium to dark straw colored. Don't want to say light gold. That's fine. Typical opaque, hazy, juicy looking. So again, they don't say New England IPA, but a lot of times there's some overlap between New England IPA, American IPA out there. But looks very nice. Okay, and remember, if you've watched more than one of my videos, you've heard me say that besides the copious amounts of hopping, as well as dry hopping, a lot of times they're using unmalted wheat and oats to create some of the protein structure as well as some of the haziness. Now, I don't know if they're using that for here. I don't know the particular grist, but just don't be surprised if you see that, okay, in most of your craft beers that are doing New England or juicy IPAs. So anyway, let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, so it's got that classic Matuka hop or aromatic of, I always get lime, citrus, lime peel, lime zest, but very nice. A little bit of tropical fruit, maybe some pineapple, mango. Listen, if someone also leaned towards grapefruit, you're getting that if you didn't feel that it was more lime oriented. They say they're using Pacific Northwest hops, but usually with that, I get more grapefruit and some pine. Now, you don't get any pine on this at all. It's mainly, citrus, pine, lime, little tropical fruit, and as well as that neutral malt character of like kind of bread dough, maybe a light toast at the very most, but it's kind of the doughy, straight blanket of malt aromatics, okay? So anyway, guys, let's take a look at it. It looks very good. Head is still kind of persisting a little bit. Still kind of looks a little bit like a crema on the espresso. Okay, so cheers. Yeah. So you still get that citrus lime. Stick with the hops since it's an IPA. But there is that pineapple, tropical fruit, pineapple. If someone wanted to err on the side of mango, that's fine. One other thing I got, because I didn't mention, there is some white grape character. I do get that with Nelson. They said Nelson Sauvin, I believe. Yeah, Nelson Sauvin. I usually get the white grape character on that. That's why when I went back for that, the first swig, that's why I was kind of getting a whiff of that on the retro nasal. Okay, but it's kind of moderate, pronounced bitterness. It's not, remember these beers versus a West Coast IPA, which you'd accept a lot more, firm bitterness. This is going to be sitting with like a lower bitterness than a West Coast IPA, and that's the intention of it. But it is still kind of moderate or pronounced. No alcoholic warmth, which I really wouldn't expect at this range. There's some, creaminess on the back end. You're kind of left with that citrus, lime, maybe a little white grape on the back end. Very nice. I mean, most of the beers, like I said, in this pack have been very good. Again, no warmth. Carbonation is just kind of medium carbonated. The body on there is kind of medium full-bodied. It is kind of have that chewiness like a lot of juicy IPAs have, even though those a lot of times are more grapefruit bias. This one, again, has citrus to it. I feel it's more lime, and as well as white grape and maybe a little pineapple. But I wouldn't argue if you found, like you thought there was some mango in there, but I don't get it. But anyway, pairing with this, like I do with a lot of my IPA, especially New England juicy IPA, something that you would think you put salsa with whitefish tacos, even some spicy food, even though IPAs will accentuate sometimes the heat and the spiciness in the food. This, I think, would still be okay with it. It's not that assertive with the bitterness. But very good, guys. Very good. Grade-wise with this, I gotta give it a good B+, A-. Other half I've had, if you look under my beer dissection, I've done other beers by other half. They seem to do, gravitate a lot to IPAs, even though I know they're probably brewing other beers too. But really good. I would compare it to, any beers from either Treehouse, Trillium, Hills Farmstead, any of the big boys with this. Now I want to double check real quick. I believe it was out of Brooklyn, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. But say Bloomfield, New York, but East Bloom. I think I remember seeing other ones that they probably have other satellite breweries. Anyway, guys, I would recommend this. Like I said, B+, A-. And I hate to say A- because it gives a kind of a negative connotation to the beer, but definitely another one from other half. No pun intended. That is really good from this pack. So again, I would check this out next year. I don't think they're doing it all year, but this is just strictly, I think, a holiday thing for them. So the 24 New York State Beers of Holiday Cheer. This packet, I'm sure I've had it pop over. But this other one from other half is really good. Like I said, B+, A- in the realm of beers, and that's good grade for me. Okay, guys, till the next beer dissection video, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.